offensive strategy. You can't beat OKC when you're just playing 1v1 all the time.
No,
you can't beat them when you just 1v1 and then passes to threes. It doesn't feel like there are any sets, and there's no post side movement in order for them to get cuts to the basket. It just feels like it's ISO basketball all the time.
J. Will, because it is, and it's not going to work. Not against that defense. There are too many great individual defenders and help defenders all the time confronting whomever has the ball. It was Julius Randle in game one. Obviously, it was Ant-Man last night. To just shut down somebody else. They have to have an ensemble effort, the Timberwolves did. So it's not going to work just because you improve the shot quality of Anthony Edwards. That alone is going to do nothing. So Minnesota has to react to everything you just said. I mean, it's tangible, though. It's seeable. Coach Finch knows, and his staff, they know what they're seeing. Now, what are they going to do in terms of execution about that? You have to have Ant-Man and Randall and somebody else. We just saw this in Oklahoma City. When they have J-Dub and Chet playing like that last night, they are not going to be beaten this season.
Chet Holmgren had 22 points last night. Jalen Williams had 26. Windman, give me a final word on this game, too, and what feels like a really commanding advantage for OKC.
You have to understand how well the Wolves were playing coming in here. They'd won 19 of their last 22 games. They demolished the Lakers. They demolished the Warriors. They hadn't lost 2 games in a row in 2 months, and they got slapped right across the face. I just want to point out the all-defensive teams were announced yesterday. Jalen Williams was second team. Lou Dort was first team. If I was allowed to vote for Alex Caruso and Chet Holmgren, I wasn't because they didn't play 65 games. That would have been on my ballot. And I don't think Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is one of their top 5 defenders. Cason Wallace is probably their quote-unquote 5th best defender. That reality has absolutely been shell-shocking and sobering to the Wolves, and they've got to now pick themselves up and try to figure out some way to penetrate it on tomorrow night.
One last thing, and I think it's the biggest thing so far. It can't be after you beat the Lakers, Superman, Batman, Ant-Man, Lakers in 5.
No. Right.
It can't be talking trash to the streets. It can't be after you beat Steph, and that's LeBron at 40 and Luka doesn't play in the defense, right? And a team that doesn't have the depth. It then can't be after you beat Golden State that doesn't have Steph Curry with Jimmy Butler barking all the time. And then all of a sudden now you get towards a team, like Wendy said, Lou Dort, first team all-defensive team. Jalen Williams, second team all-defensive team. And then you don't show up to the post-game presser and you don't have anything to say. You just dip out. No, it can't be all bark and no bite. Not now. Not now. This is when we want you to do it now. This is where the level of maturity has to show itself, Mike.
Couldn't agree with you more. But that's the flaw of Minnesota. We saw some of it last year. Even when they got up, they go to Denver and win the first 2 games convincingly. What happens? That series gets extended to 7. So they still have those moments where Finch has, any time you spend at this point with a team as veteran as Minnesota, reining in that and cleaning up those distractions, instead of just concentrating on how in the hell do we deal with Oklahoma City's defense. That's all they should be dealing with instead of some of this other stuff, which are signs of immaturity still.
Sometimes 23 years old, we forget, I mean, he's 23, and so it is what it is. We want him to, there's a part of us, I think, that wants him to take over the league, to sort of become the guy who is the face of the league. He continues to say it's not what he wants to do. Our Joe Fortenbaugh is here with us all morning long with his best bets. And we look ahead
the walk and talk.
to Game 3 on a Saturday night. What is your best bet looking ahead to that?
Take out your pitching wedge, swing it easy. Oklahoma City -3.5. This comes down to pricing. It should be 4.5. It should be 5. This is cheap. Go back to Oklahoma City's series against Denver. On the road, they were a 7-point favorite, a 6-point favorite, and a 5.5-point favorite. And that was after Denver beat them in Game 1. Is Denver that much worse than Minnesota? I don't see it. The beautiful thing about betting Oklahoma City is that you're going to get a team that can cover in a multitude of ways. We've seen them win basketball games this postseason when they're only shooting 35% from the field. We've seen them win basketball games this postseason when the opponent's shooting over 40% from deep. The hallmark of a champion is the ability to win and cover spreads a multitude of ways. That's what Oklahoma City gives you.
And they may very on Saturday night, we'll see the game on ESPN. That one could put sort of a dagger into the Western Conference Finals. We'll see. Meanwhile, let me show you another highlight from last night. We had Caitlin Clark and the Fever taking on the Dream. So it was a Fever-Dream matchup 30 seconds ago in the first. Fever trailing by 8, and it's physical. Ryan Howard getting into an altercation there, barking at Caitlin. Caitlin barking back. A little chippy early in this one, jumping to the second now. Fever leading by 1. Caitlin Clark, which way is she going? Going left. Fall away, and it's good. Sort of a quiet night for her offensively. 11 points, but we'll show you a few more buckets here. Fever up by 2. Up ahead to Sophie Cunningham. Fever by 4. To the fourth quarter we go because it's a good game. Fever leading by 3. Clark defended by Howard. Watch the spin. And then back on the left side. 11.6 assists, as I said, for Caitlin Clark. Later in the fourth, Fever down by 2. Kelsey Mitchell, that's good for 3. Fever by 1. Under a minute to go. The Fever lead is 1. Caitlin Clark, Aaliyah Boston, tough inside. Fever go on to win it 81-76. Caitlin Clark 0 for 5 from three-point range, and that is significant because it snaps her WNBA record 42 straight games with at least one made three. That was 24 games longer than the previous record. This marks the first time in 1,225 days that Caitlin Clark played in a game without making a three. The last one came when she was a sophomore at Iowa in 2022. All right, we're just getting rolling this morning. Coming back, how do you bounce back after a catastrophic collapse? Can the Knicks flush away Game 1 and win tonight at the Garden? We dive into it. Plus, oh, did you hear what Michael Jordan's agent said about the comparison with LeBron? It is spicy. The question is it right? We'll answer that next.